only
That's
like
right.
326.
Yeah, the win Saturday over Syracuse, moving him past legendary Virginia coach Terry Holland. Outstanding officiating crew tonight. Doug Schaus, Ron Gruber, Lee Cassell, and Carolina and Virginia. The Heels began the season ranked number 1, out of the rankings now, 11-5, 3-2 in the ACC. Virginia 11-3, 3-2 in the ACC as well, ranked 13th. And it's Kihei Clark and the Who's with the first possession of the night.
Clark's been such a vital performer, makes clutch shots, passes the ball exceptionally well. One of the great under 6-foot players in the country.
Jaden Garner defended by Leaky Black, off to Armaan Franklin, who left it a little bit short, but tipped back out by Caden Shedrick. So a fresh possession now for Virginia. Gardner from the baseline, too strong, and another offensive rebound by Shedrick.
That's a big plus if they can keep Carolina off the glass. Shedrick with 2 really good, strong rebounds.
Kihei Clark a miss. Shedrick almost got another one, but it's off him, out of bounds. So Hubert Davis's team gets its first possession, and he is steamed already. Dick, he does not like the fact that they couldn't control the defensive glass.
I'll tell you one thing, he really demonstrates a lot of passion, a lot of energy on that sideline.
Seth Trimble with the ball, the freshman, number 0, getting the start in place of the injured Pete Nance, out again with a back issue, so a much smaller lineup for the Tar Heels, with really Leaky Black, the de facto 4-man, and 3 guards on the court for Carolina. This is R.J. Davis in and out. Tipped out by Armando Bacot. Love can't hit. Bacot another tip.
Tell you one thing.
And Bacot is down. Armando Bacot is down. A guy who battled an ankle injury late last year, earlier this year, a shoulder problem earlier this year, and needing some help from his teammates to get back up as we get a look.
He's hurt his ankle last year in the championship game at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's the left ankle. You could see him roll the left ankle, and he is under, he needs some help getting off the court. He's trying to put a little bit more weight on it.
He's the best big player right now in the ACC. There's no doubt about it. He's such a factor for everybody. I mean, losing him is really, really big.
And you could see how much that hurt him as soon as he went down. Grabbed for it right away. And obviously a huge loss for the Tar Heels if Bacot is unable to go. Justin McCoy, a former Virginia player, spent a couple of years here in Charlottesville, checks into the game.
Well, he's going to play with a lot of passion. Here he is seeing the opposing uniform and get a whole lot of playing time here.
Davis with a floater, and nobody can get anything to go right now. Virginia ball.
That was a good move, though, by Davis. Davis and Love got to drive the basketball more. Excellent free throw shooters, Dan. They don't go to the free throw line enough. They got to attack the rim.
Shedrick out to Reece Beekman, and now Kihei Clark.
They're good on the perimeter, man. Beekman is really outstanding. Franklin and Clark.
Gardner, and it's the Who's who score first.
Let me tell you this, Gardner, excellent post player, good medium range shooter. He's not going to shoot any threes. In fact, he doesn't have taken 1 3 yet this year.
3 years at East Carolina. His second year here in Charlottesville. Has been a really nice player for Virginia the last couple of years. Leaky Black, whose three-point shooting, the percentages keep climbing every year, but he misses the corner 3, and it's Cavs ball. Get a look at the starting 5 again. All kinds of experience from a team that went to the NIT, Dick, a year ago. They've got much higher hopes this season.
Absolutely. Their hopes are to win the ACC regular season, tournament, and then get in the tournament. Bottom line is, to make that happen, it's a big game because both teams are 3-2. And right now, Clemson's 5-0.
And Clemson just beat Pitt on the weekend. That was a battle of a couple of undefeated teams at the top of the ACC standings. Nice block there by Armaan Franklin.
Franklin did a great job rotating, great timing. There he is right there. He times it really well, rotating from the help side. Excellent block right there. One thing about Tony Bennett's club, they're going to play defense. You know it, they're going to pack it in.
They always do. If you want to play for Tony Bennett, you better play defense. And we can tell you that Armando Bacot is no longer on the Carolina bench. He has evidently gone to the locker room after rolling his left ankle.
That puts a lot of pressure now on their guards. Their guards are going to have to come up really big to win here today.
Trimble, and another rejection by Franklin.
Franklin's becoming a shot blocker, man. What's he, Ralph Sampson?
The spin by Kihei Clark. Has to pick up his dribble, finds Franklin, and still plenty of time.
Kia just has great basketball IQ. Really knows how to play the game.
That fifth-year senior was a freshman in the national championship season for Virginia.
Played 33 minutes in the championship game.
Gardner fouled by Black and will be heading to the free throw line.
You know, we mentioned Gardner earlier. He's the only player right now in college basketball that has 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
Yep.
Unbelievable. He's had a tremendous college career.
Averaging better than 11 points, 5 rebounds per game. And again, keep it in mind, Virginia numbers, they're suppressed a bit because they're a slow tempo, low possession kind of team. But Tony Bennett, he's had this style since the day he got here. He recruits players who he thinks can embrace the style, enhance the style, play well, and it's hard to argue with the success that he's had.
Unbelievable. National championship,
Yep.
5 ACC titles, 4 outright.
5 ACC regular season championships in the last 9 years.
Pretty good.
Yep.
I get your contract extension.
Love guarded by Beekman, one of the tremendous perimeter defenders there in college basketball, and eventually it's a turnover.
He forces a lot of steals, man. He was one of the best in the nation last year. Steals.
Beekman for 3. And the rebound to Leaky Black.
That's one area they got to improve. They got to make those open shots. They get quality shots. They got to make them count.
Better than 4 minutes in, Carolina without a point, and they turn it over again. Beekman will lay it in. 5-0 Virginia.
You know, I talked to some coaches preparing for the game. They think he's their best all-around player. He defends well. He anticipates. He read that just like a defensive back does.
Phenomenal defensive player, and he's shooting the 3 very well this year.
Handles the ball exceptionally well, too.
Nearly another turnover.
See, Carolina doesn't have the post presence now.
Right.
Without Bacot, they're changing this game. It's now perimeter.
Davis knocks down a 3. It took almost 5 minutes, but finally Carolina's on the board. But a lot of teams come into this building and have droughts, don't they?
They do. Bottom line is those guards are going to have to be really efficient here tonight. They're going to have to be better than ever for them to win this game.
Franklin, no. And Black, another rebound for the Heels. Carolina wants to push when they can. A block by Shedrick. Trimble gets it back.
See, 3 blocks already.
2 by Franklin, 1 by Shedrick. Love can't get by Clark. Tries again and gets called for the offensive foul.
Clark did a great job staying in front of him. He stayed in front of him. He said, no, you're not going to get to the rack. You're not going to get there.
Caden Shedrick getting all of that Trimble attempt, but the biggest news of the game, the early injury suffered by Carolina's big man, Armando Bacot. Vitale, let's welcome back after a lot of time spent on college football. We welcome Andrea Carter back to the college basketball scene.
Well, Dan, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be back here, but I have to say it is tenfold to be back here on a crew with Dickie V, someone who has so much energy and enthusiasm for the game of college basketball, and that energy is exactly what Hubert Davis said he wanted at shoot-around for his team to start with today. But the one good sign, we saw Armando Bacot go down. He always brings energy and enthusiasm. They are retaping his ankle, and he is going to try and give it a go, guys.
Wow, that is promising news, encouraging news for the Tar Heels. During the break, I checked with Steve Kirshner, the sports information director for the Tar Heels. Not that it necessarily would have meant it was related, but I asked him, is that the same ankle that he hurt in the Final Four last year? And the answer is no. Steve Kirshner says it was the right ankle last year. It was the left ankle here tonight. But boy, when you see a guy roll an ankle like that, Dick, you don't think he's going to be able to get back into the game.
I had my doubts looking at that, but I'll tell you what, he's one tough kid. If you remember last year in the final game of the championship, he went down and he came back.
Beekman with the shot clock and 1 gets it to go.
Wow.
DeMarco Dunn is into the game for Carolina. 6'5" sophomore from Tucson. Gave him some good minutes in a win over Notre Dame Saturday in Chapel Hill.
He could shoot the ball. He had a broken hand that kept him out. But they're a little deeper than in the past. I mean, they got Trimble, and they got a young kid on the bench they think is going to be ultimately a star, Jalen Washington.
Right, and Hubert Davis is looking to get more and more from his bench. Puff Johnson, DeMarco Dunn played well on Saturday. Seth Trimble as well. Beekman with a drive, and he's fouled by R.J. Davis.
Take a look right here. Is a drive to the basket, hanging in a lane, and converts. Tell you one thing about Beekman, he really attacks. He's an attacker. He wants to get to that rim. Little surprise today in college basketball. Unbelievable.
Oh,
wow, they must be going bananas down in Lexington, Kentucky. Kentucky got beat at home by South Carolina, who lost Saturday. Did they not? By 40?
They lost by 42 or 43 to Tennessee. And now Kentucky, they've been having their problems lately. That's no secret. But that continues tonight with a home court loss to South Carolina, 71-68. And Big Blue Nation, you know how they are.
Wow.
I mean, they are. It's going to be noisy in Big Blue Nation. Another steal by Beekman.
Beekman, it's unbelievable the way he steals the basketball.
And the finish.
What a play. What a defensive play, Dan Schulman. Almost as good as you defensively.
Where does the offense come from for Carolina? Very little post game with the Bacot out, so it's got to be the guards, Love and Davis. Ball bounces away from Love, but they're fortunate it lands in the hands of Davis, and he's got all 5 for Carolina.
Well, you took Davis and Love. You took 2 veteran players who really were brilliant at the end of the year. Don't shoot really well in terms of, you look at their stats, shooting a 3. And I think there's a reason for that. I think they're good shooters, yet shot selection is the key. You got to take good shots.
Franklin a miss on a 3-point attempt, and it's out of bounds to Carolina. Another play, Dick, by Beekman.
Oh, it's unbelievable. He's been all over the court. It's like, what a defensive back, man. He's playing like prime time used to play when he played defensive football. I was coaching out of Colorado. I'm prime.
You know, in this conference, Reece Beekman and Leaky Black, those are about the 2 best perimeter defenders I think you'll find. They're both sensational.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a feeling Beekman's getting looked at by a lot of NFL people. Really, there's been guys that have done that, you know, basketball.
I think he might have a basketball future, though. I think he's going to earn a paycheck playing basketball.
Well, I think he's really smart. And number one, you don't want to put that helmet on.
Jalen Washington, the guy you were talking about, that's him with the ball. The guy didn't play his high school senior season, tore his ACL, got a late start, recovering from that this year.
6'10", you can't teach that size. His quickness, his ability to run the court. He can shoot the ball. He just needs basketball experience.
Love with a floater, nicely done, and Carolina back within 3.
Yeah, Love it. Davis is so explosive. So explosive. Crowd's kind of quiet, isn't it? Really quiet.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little quiet.
They were noisy after the steals, after the Beekman plays. Ooh, they would have gotten noisy had that gone down for Kihei Clark. Davis pushing, finds Love.
Boy, I'm watching that Washington run the court. He just glides up and down the floor. Hubert was ecstatic talking to me last night about it, saying his future's incredible.
Love can't get a shot off, kicks it out to Dunn, and now they swing it to Davis. Dunn with a clean look for 3. Off the back of the iron, and the rebound for Franklin. And again, the tempo much slower for Virginia. 363 Division I teams. Virginia's 360th in tempo. 3-point attempt by Vander Plas, a grad transfer from Ohio.
He's been a big plus for them. Came from Ohio, she said, had a big game against them several years ago in the NCAA tournament.
3-point lead for the Cavs, 10:51 to go in the first half. It's easy to bundle your home and car insurance at Progressive.com. We've got an Armando Bacot update. Here's Dre.
right, Stan. Well, I did see Armando Bacot running up and down the hallway back here. He hasn't come out just yet. They added a couple more layers of tape to that ankle. His father, Armando Bacot Sr., did go back into the hallway, was rubbing his shoulders, really encouraging him as he tries to fight through it.
Well, and you got a feel for him. Remember, it happened on the biggest stage of all last year, right? And then he had an ankle injury. Wasn't as serious, didn't cost him as much time earlier this year. Then he had a shoulder injury, missed a game. I mean, you know, he posts, right? He plays hard. He comes back from injuries. But you just got a feel for a guy who's had to play through a few ankle injuries.
And he really has been such a factor. The last 6 games, he's been absolutely sensational. I started off a little slow this year because of injuries. But he's their key. Remember, this team came on big time. It all happened after February 16th. They were embarrassed by Pittsburgh. And people were really down. It was their 8th loss. And all of a sudden, there was a change. I mean, the critics were out screaming, is Hubert the right guy for the job, isn't it? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the year, he became a hero.
Yeah, they got hot, didn't they? They got hot after that loss. Remember, they won the final regular season game at Duke, and then, of course, they beat Duke in the Final Four. Tomorrow night, ranked teams highlight our ESPN2 college basketball doubleheader. Got some good games, Alabama and Arkansas. How much fun is the Tide with Brandon Miller? And then TCU and Texas. Every game in the Big 12 seems to mean a lot. Marcus Carr and the Horns, and Mike Miles Jr. and the Horned Frogs. Unfortunately for TCU, didn't go all that well on the football field last night in the national championship game.
Wow. Too good, Georgia. Too good.
Yeah. 65-7. There's Washington with the jumper. Again, as you talked about, young guy, big kid, he can shoot the ball.
He got great stroke. You can't teach what he has. He runs well. He's 6'11", they say. Gets up and down the floor. He's got great mobility and, man, an excellent touch. He is going to be special in that uniform.
7-0 run for Carolina to tie it. And how about this, as our producer Kim Belton points out, without Armando Bacot, North Carolina is out rebounding Virginia by 6 without the best rebounder in the conference on the floor.
Well, they're playing really aggressive basketball. I think Puff Johnson could be a key player. Came on here, I think 11 points in the championship game. He's been up and down, very streaky. Made a couple of big threes in the game against the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame. Game you and Jay did.
Nice look inside. Caleb Love finds Jalen Washington, and the Tar Heels have the lead.
Hey, Dan, this could be a coming out party for this kid. Really can. He's going to be a rising star. What a great opportunity. Here's taking advantage, getting some opportunity. His teammates on the sideline. He knows he has to help the team, and he's responding.
Isaac McNeely, a freshman with the ball, number 11. He made 4 threes against Syracuse on Saturday. Nearly a steal by Dunn. And now McNeely gets a good look and buries it.
Well, he can shoot the ball. What did Tony told us before the game? He said, man, I want to shoot it any time he has an open look.
He said, take the parking brake off, son. You can go.
Shoot it.
Yep.
He's made 23 so far, threes.
I got to put the parking brake on you every now and again. Dunn baseline, right into the chest and chin of McNeely, who is still down. The basket counts. There was no foul, I do not believe, called either way on the play, but McNeely is shaken up.
Virginia staff wants an elbow. They're screaming, elbow, elbow. Nice drive on a baseline.
Yeah, got hit in the face. Don't know if he's got a bloody nose or exactly what it is. Yeah, it might be the mouth.
Take a look right here, Love right now. Love drives it into the big guy. The big guy delivers. Nice pass right there by Love. I'm going to tell you, I just love watching this kid play. Just watching what he does. I can see why Hubert, I mean, he was just going on last night with me about him.
So McNeely will get a little bit of attention on the Virginia bench. Still no sign, as far as I can see, of Armando Bacot returning to the Carolina bench. The crowd here at John Paul Jones just got a look at the replay of the play on the drive by Dunn, and the officials are having a look at the monitor. And that signal there from Lee Cassell was no call, no flagrant. A basketball play. Watch the left elbow as he elevated into the shot. came up and got McNeely in the mouth.
There was no intention at all whatsoever. It was a basketball play, as you just said, Dan.
Again, outstanding crew. Lee Cassell, Doug Shows, and Ron Gruber. We appreciate getting word from them. So a bucket for Dunn, and Carolina's back on top.
Hey, my first time working with Andrea. I'm going to add it to my list now, 44 years. And she's exactly what you said. She is a rising star. From Tennessee. She was the last class of Pat Summitt, one of the greatest ever to grace the sideline, men or women.
Beekman and Clark in the backcourt, along with Franklin, Shedrick, and Gardner, the 5 starters on the floor right now for Virginia. Got off to a quick start, but have slowed down noticeably offensively recently. And they are 1 point behind the Heels.
Good ball movement.
And good defense by Dunn to take it away from Franklin.
That was a terrific play by Dunn. Beat him to the spot. It was a great position and allow him to make the turn. So many players let guys make the turn, get the driving lane.
Pull up by Davis. Too strong. Rebound by Washington.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? What are we watching here? What are we watching here? Oh, man.
We're watching a young guy with a lot of talent, getting healthier by the week, getting further away from that torn ACL of a year ago. And because, unfortunately for Armando Bacot, but because of that injury, Washington's getting some PT right now.
I think he heard some of the things I said about him earlier, and he's making me look good. You know how tough that is to make me look good? I know you've tried for 27 years.
Shedrick tipped by Washington. And it's out of bounds off Gardner. It'll be Carolina ball.
I'm going to tell you something. If they get positive minutes out of him to join Bacot down the road, that's a special. Watch this right now. Look at it right now. Look at that side. Left hand, he grabs.
Zubin, thank you. 3-point lead, Carolina over Virginia. 7.5 to go here in the first half. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Andrea Carter. The big story, if you're just joining us, Armando Bacot, just a minute and change into the game, rolled his left ankle, went to the locker room, has not returned yet. Carolina has played well in his absence and getting some great minutes out of the freshman Jalen Washington.
Yeah, Jalen Washington has been a difference maker since Bacot went out in the lineup. He's been so active and so aggressive. Just talent. He's got talent. He's just got to get stronger, and that will come. Experience, strength, that'll all happen.
Caleb Love trying to initiate the offense now for the Heels. Shot clock down to 8. Corner 3 will go down. Good minutes for DeMarco Dunn for Hubert Davis.
And that's one of his strengths. I mean, you were talking about it last night. He said, hey, we want him because he can make the 3 ball.
Carolina was down 10-3. They're on a 16-3 run right now. And it is quiet here at John Paul Jones. A clean look for Kihei Clark, and the Cavs needed that.
He's been a clutch player for them all year, throughout his career, and that was an example. You go to your clutch guy, and he delivers.
Career highs right now if they hold up for Clark. Scoring, assists, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. Really having a great season.
Even though he missed that shot, what a nice stroke he had.
Yeah. Washington again got a late start recovering from the ACL. Had played only 21 minutes all season coming into this one tonight. Franklin wide open and misses the 3.
Franklin, a transfer from Indiana. He's been a scorer for them. They got great balance offensively. The one thing about Virginia, they got 4 guys that double figures right there. The 5th one very close at 9 points a game.
There again is the look at the Bacot injury. For those who weren't with us earlier, went up for an offensive rebound, rolled that left ankle, but Jalen Washington has come in and played exceptionally well off the bench.
There he is right there. A nice little roll to the basket. Has good hands, good catch. There was a good offensive rebound, a conversion. Hey, you know, you think about Bacot now, what you miss. Bacot has had 20 points or more in 6 straight games. He's right now 58 career double-doubles. He's only 2 shy of one of the greatest ever to play at Carolina, Billy Cunningham. Billy the kid from Erasmus High School from Brooklyn was one of Dean Smith's great players. He's past Sam Perkins, who we all love. He's now the number 2 rebounder behind Tyler Hansborough. What a career he's had. So you're missing not just another player. You're missing a star player.
Great ball movement on that trip by the Tar Heels, but they couldn't knock down the corner 3.
Good spacing. These clubs really know how it's spacing. In fact, Hubert told me his team changed a great deal last year, and they started developing better spacing and really moving the ball.
Let's bring in Dre.
Hey, Dickie V, you mentioned Billy Cunningham. Wasn't his nickname the Kangaroo Kid?
It was, Billy. You're right. Hey, Dre, come on now. I know you had to be starting because my guy here told me when I walked in, I said, I never worked with Andrea. He said, Dick, she's going to be a star. So you might be an agent, fellow talent, man.
I'm just trying to be like Jalen Washington, you know? When my name is called, I'm ready to go.
R.J. Davis picked up that last foul for Carolina, his second. Nice steal by Leaky Black. He passed up the 3, steps in, and it misses the mid-range jumper. And now a Carolina foul.
Now working really hard here for Carolina. Steve Kirsch, I keep watching, going back and forth to the locker room to find out the status of Bacot. And let me say this, both, I'm just going to get this off my chest. Kirshner and also Eric Bachner. These SIDs, Bacher, I'm telling you, they work so hard, and I believe both guys should be in the Sports Information Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I really do.
They're both great.
They're both doing a great job.
We rely on them so much.
Oh, wow.
Caleb Love. And down with the rebound for Virginia, Ryan Dunn, a 6'8 freshman from Freeport, New York. Does not play all that much for the Hoos, but getting some minutes here.
Well, they need some size. They really lack size.
Look at Beekman just going round and round, but misses the left-handed layup.
It's a tough angle there with that left-hand layup.
Washington slithers around Francisco Capro and lays it in.
What is this? What are we watching? Now, don't get me, I don't want anybody writing up saying he's Shaquille O'Neal. But I did a game, Kim Belton was the producer, and it was like a coming-out party for Shaquille against a great Arizona team. Arizona was loaded with all kinds of bigs. Sean Rooks, Williams, and Shaq was dominant. I'm seeing a mini. Now, let me point this out, because I don't want people, he's talking about him with Shaquille. I'm not. I'm just saying that I get this little excitement in me when I see a kid break out like this who hasn't done really anything like this during the year.
Yeah, that just hadn't gotten a lot of minutes, right? He'd only played 21 minutes on the season coming into this game. Now, in those 21 minutes, to be fair, he had scored 13 points. That's a lot of production, but that's a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there. This is some real run against a great defensive team, and he is meeting and exceeding expectations.
Well, they need it too. They need it big time because of the status of Bacot.
Got some women's games coming up for you. For Virginia and North Carolina, Virginia's going to host Boston College Sunday on the ACC network at noon Eastern. And then next Thursday, it's a rivalry game for North Carolina on the women's side. They host Duke, 8 o'clock Eastern, also on the ACC network. Now, Washington has gone to the bench, and into the game, a Virginia native, number 24, Tyler Nickel from Harrisonburg, Virginia, about 40 miles away from here. The guy who told me on Saturday, going to have some family and friends. He was looking for tickets as Leaky Black knocks down a corner 3, and North Carolina's lead has grown to 9.
You know, Leaky had 3 big threes in a game you did with Notre Dame. So he's a guy, he's a great defensive player. We know that.
Shooting a very respectable 37% from three-point range on the season. Carolina by 9.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. I had some pretty good players, man. I had some pretty good players. 3 played in the NBA. Tyler Long, Durod. They made me look pretty good. Won 21 in a row one year.
How can Virginia get it going? They had 10 points really early in this game, led 10-3, and have scored only 5 points in the longest time. And even this year, even recently, they have had some long droughts. They had a drought of 7.5 minutes. Not a single point in the second half against Syracuse on the weekend. They did win that game. Last week at Pitt had a drought of almost 6 minutes without a point for a team. That is pretty good offensively. Yeah, they play slowly, but they're per KenPom, they are 21st in the nation in offensive efficiency. This is a good offensive team, but they are prone to some droughts.
Yeah, they really are. And I think right now they've also quieted the crowd down big time. So that's been a big plus, too. The crowd's been a little silent. People react to the crowd by the way you perform.
Now the crowd's trying to help them out a little bit, trying to boost their spirits. Caleb Love with the ball. He's got 5 assists already tonight. Dunn misses the 3. Rebound Beekman.
Beekman could drive that basketball. They've done a good job on Clark. Clark doesn't have many looks.
Whoop. He's going to go to the free throw line right now. Got tripped on the drive.
Now watch a little guy like him play. I was talking to Tony Bennett yesterday on the phone, and we talked about it in the locker room today. And I think about little guys. Nobody has ever done what a guy named Muggsy Bogues did.
Right.
I mean, are you kidding me? 5'3", really about 5'2", and to be as effective and as efficient as he was in the NBA and at Wake Forest, I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I mean, what an inspiration to young people. I think he heard a lot of times, Dan. I think he heard a lot of times, you can't be an NBA player. You can't. He said, can't? I'll show you. And then Tony said to me, do I know Muggsy? 3 years in the NBA I played. I had to guard him every day in practice.
They were together with Charlotte.
He said he wore me out.
He said that's why my knee hurts. That's why my foot hurts.
It's great to see little guys like this, make it, proving that they can play with the big guys.
1 of 2 for Clark. 3 minutes to go in the half. Carolina by 6. McCoy the screen to free up Love. A nice recovery there by the Hoos. Shot clock at 10. 5.
See, that's what they do to you defensively. Take a bad shot. Take a bad shot in that possession. This Virginia defense at its best. Really, that defines what they've done for years defensively.
This is one of the few, if any, buildings in America where they get as excited for like a shot clock violation or a good defensive stand as they do for a dunk or a big 3 at the offensive end.
Hey, I like my Randy Newman team. I'm the 6 foot man. Clark, McGee, Campbell down at UCLA. And I'll tell you what, Kendrick Davis, Memphis, and the kid right there, Marquise Noel. Ready for this?
Oh, boy.
It's unbelievable what he has done at Kansas State. He had 32 and 14 assists the other day in a big win. He's been brilliant all year. And what a job they're doing at Kansas State.
What a week Jerome Tang's team had. They go to Austin, they beat Texas, they go to Waco, they beat Baylor.
Where he coached as an assistant.
That's right, for 19 years under Scott Drew, and all of a sudden K-State's 11th in the rankings.
Yeah, unbelievable. And key player for them, Keontae Johnson. The young guy.
Great to see him healthy, right?
Great to see him back playing. I'm hoping that happens with DeMar Hamlin as well. It looks like he's heading in that direction.
Boy, Virginia has stepped up the pressure at the defensive end, but Washington scores on the assist by Nickel, and a chance for a 3-point play for Jalen Washington.
You talk about a difference maker. There was silence on that bench when Bacot went down, and rightfully so. He's such a star player. But I don't think they anticipated what they're seeing right now out of Jalen Washington. What a plus this is. I mean, if Bacot comes back healthy, which we think he will, according to Steve's reports to us, and you add this kid in a steady rotation, wow. Look at that stroke. Perfect follow through. I mean, he shoots the ball like Seth Greenberg would like to shoot it. And if Seth would have taught his players to shoot like that, he wouldn't be working with us on TV. I'm only teasing. Hey, I know Seth from the time my first recruit was his brother. And he was in the house as a young guy. I was at Rutgers. That's a true story.
Franklin. And it's down to Carolina, scooped up by McCoy. Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Virginia just 1 for 9, Dick, from 3-point range.
And that right now, they need some stops. They need a defensive stop here. You want to go to the halftime with a little momentum.
Washington again.
He was right there with that shot, too. Right there.
Nice crossover by Clark. Vander Plas wide open, and boy, did they need that one.
And he could do that. He could do that. His dad played college basketball with Tony Bennett, so he had a big edge in recruiting him. And he got out of Ohio University. That was a big, big momentum for them.
Boy, great ball pressure by Beekman. Shot clock at 7. Love the drive. Had to force it up, but the follow will go for McCoy.
McCoy with a good offensive rebound, man. That was a big play right there. Something to keep in mind. The last 4 times Carolina's been here, they've lost. Oh, nice play.
How about that pass by Clark?
Great look by Clark. Seeing his cerebral ability, vision, tremendous passing. Great cut to the goal.
And Hubert Davis is going to use a timeout. Boy, Kihei Clark's been doing these kinds of things for years, Dick. Keeping the dribble alive, unbelievable vision, huh?
Little bowling pack.
From Clark, a big bucket for Virginia to get him back within 4, but it's Carolina led by Jalen Washington off the bench tonight for the injured Armando Bacot, who has led the way for the Heels, and they've got a 4-point lead and the ball with the shot clock turned off at the end of the first half.
Oh, boy.
And they turn it over.
2-1. Oh, nice play. Nice play. So unselfish. They're back. They're back.
And an offensive foul goes against the Heels.
Uncle Mo has arrived here in Charlottesville. It's on the side of the Cavs now. Hey, remember this. North Carolina's last 4 games here, they have not scored 50. And they've lost with losses. Look at him. He takes such pride defensively. Look at his face.
Think he's happy he came back for a 5th year? Think he's happy he came back for a 5th year?
Oh, absolutely. You better believe he's happy.
Yep. Boy, what a potential turnaround here at the end of the half. Carolina was up 4 with the ball. And now Virginia can tie or take the lead. Vander Plas. And the first half comes to a close with North Carolina holding a 2-point edge on Virginia. Good battle between these two. Lots more fun coming from JPJ, but first back to the studio along with LaFonso Ellis.
Armando is in really good spirits. He always is, but the team will have to fight in the second half.
Dre, thank you. They have shown some fight. That young man right there, Dick, and you were touting him early. Jalen Washington's been outstanding.
Well, I got 2 rising stars here. We certainly have our star, Andrea, and we got Mr. Jalen Washington. 2 rising stars.
Carolina ball to begin the second half here in Charlottesville. Both teams 3-2 in the lead. Love lost it, gets it back.
3-point shot has really been negated here tonight. In between the clubs, they're 5 for 25.
R.J. Davis trying to get into the paint and has it knocked away by Armaan Franklin, but it's still Carolina ball with 4 on the shot clock. I think Hubert Davis has to be pleased with the fight that he has seen from his team. Washington's been great. Justin McCoy's got 6 rebounds off the bench.
Well, they're out-rebounded him by 8, +8 right now against Virginia. You would think that without Bacot. He's certainly the best rebounder in the ACC.
Leaky Black off the side of the backboard. Jalen Washington a little shaken up. He was reaching up around his throat, but appears to be okay as he gets back on defense.
If North Carolina's going to leave here with a win, first one, they've lost 7 in a row here. They're going to have some 3s have to be made. Love it. Certainly, Davis got to make some of those 3s.
Leaky Black with a steal and a finish.
You know, you look at Black, you look at Beekman, 2 outstanding defensive players. I mean, right now, Beekman, by the way, broke a school record last year in his steals. He had 73 steals.
Franklin off a screen. Davis stays with him. Franklin left hand, no. And the rebound down to Black.
I'll tell you one thing, Gardner has not given the kind of productivity they usually get from him.
Yep, very quiet. 1 for 2, 3 points on the night. They swing it to Trimble in the corner. Into the paint, and a foul called on Gardner.
Trimble's a great athlete. He's a defensive player. He's made some great defensive stops in the games he's played. He's got to work on his shot, and that's something they think he will develop eventually. He's got a great teacher there in UB Davis. They have many guys who can shoot the ball better than UB.
So Trimble at the line. Mr. Basketball last year, was a high school senior in the state of Wisconsin, and that foul on Gardner, Dick, his third. And Tony Bennett's going to take him out here a minute and a half into the second half as Vander Plas comes in for him.
Gardner's had a great career. We talked about it. The only guy playing college basketball, 2,000 points, 1,000+ rebounds. Just been terrific. And tonight, North Carolina's done a terrific job on keeping him from really doing his thing.
And Trimble extends the Carolina lead to 6. Carolina has lost 7 games in a row in this building.
And the last 4, they haven't scored 50 points.
Yeah.
Haven't scored 50 points.
Clark is fouled. Got a great looking NBA Wednesday doubleheader coming your way tomorrow night. Game 1, it'll be Giannis and the Bucks taking on Trae Young and the Hawks at 7:30 Eastern. And then the #1 team of the West, the Denver Nuggets, against the Phoenix Suns in the late game. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Clark underneath the bucket, back out into the paint, and called for the travel.
I thought it definitely walked right there. Took the extra step. Watch this right now when he makes the turn.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of hopped on both feet. Yeah.
Yep.
Good call by Ron Groover. And a hedge there by Caden Shedrick, and he is called for the foul.
Shedrick certainly gives him a defensive guy inside, but he's been limited offensively as well.
Yeah, he has played 17 minutes in this game, has attempted only 2 shots.
You would think they'd go to him a little bit more, especially without Bacot on the floor.
Love off to Davis, 8 to shoot. Now Washington. And fouled by Shedrick. So back-to-back fouls committed by Caden Shedrick, his first 2 of the night.
Tell you one thing, you're watching like a young super coat, 2-year-old coat coming out. I mean, this guy is just, he's impressed me so much. Number 13, he has been so impressed, so skilled. He's got really great skills. Look at him face it, triple threat position. He can shoot, he can drive, he can pass. Great stroke.
And Armando Bacot is back on the bench, but he's in sweats. So that seems to suggest that he will not be able to come back into the game. Played just 1 minute and 19 seconds, sitting alongside Pete Nance, a transfer from Northwestern, who was out again tonight with back issues. So they're without a star and another starter, and they're still trying to pull off a big road win here in Charlottesville.
I think the good news right now for North Carolina is that Bacot doesn't have a serious injury.
Franklin, no. And Virginia just unable to heat up from the perimeter tonight.
Free ball not going down at all.
Trimble with a full head of steam, got caught in the air, threw it out of bounds off Franklin. And Shedrick is going to sit down now. Francisco Caffaro is going to come into the game. And yes, it is Caffaro. For years it's been Gaffaro, but we have been told that this year, people who have watched Virginia games know this, that the pronunciation that he would prefer is Caffaro.
Well, whatever he prefers, we're going to give him what he prefers.
Of course. Nearly out of bounds. Nice save there by Trimble.
Great catch by Trimble. Showed his little athleticism, man. That was a terrific hand-eye coordination. What a catch.
And the 7th turnover of the night by the Tar Heels.
Tell you, look right now in the ACC. You got Clemson undefeated, 5-0. Pittsburgh, Jeff Capel doing a great job, 4-1. You got a lot more balance than people thought.
Yep, Miami is 4-1 as well. And then you've got 6 teams at 3-2, including both of these.
Nice drive. Nice drive. Nobody rotated over. That's a no-no defensively, and I'll guarantee that'll be on their film evaluation. Mr. Sullivan on that bench over there, former player. Mr. May, is he a pretty good player or what?
Mr. Lebo as well.
Yeah. Roy Williams starts, but what a job Roy Williams did in his tenure. Incredible.
Again, deep into the shot clock.
Good defense makes you take extra time to try and get a shot.
Davis, soft touch off the glass.
They want him to do more. He and Love, they want him to attack. Try to get fouled, go to the free throw line. Both guys like 80% free throw shooters.
Davis actually leading the ACC in free throw shooting this year at 88%. Beekman, no. And Virginia now 2 for 12 from three-point range. Not that Carolina's much better. They're 3 for 13. Vander Plas thinking about backing down. Leaky Black gets into the paint. A little bit of a fadeaway jumper, and he banks it home. Think you meant to do that?
No, you know that. That's Hail Mary time, baby, at its best. It's really going to be a brick. Turns out to be a deuce. Two little guys really playing well right now. Davis, certainly. See, they want that. They want to get him fouled, get him on the line. They want to get him on the line.
Foul called on Clark.
Take a look at this little guy. Look at a little drive right there. Kihei. What a player he's been. My dad had come over and say hello, and I said, are you kidding me? For you, Paul, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Paul has been so generous and such an unbelievable heart of gold guy who's helped us with the V Foundation with money for cancer. And I know he's so proud of his dad. 99 years of age. He passed November in 2020 at 100 years of age. My goal is to be 100 like him and sit next to you and do a game. You know that.
You keep threatening me.
That's one of my goals, man. I don't have that far to go.
I'll do it. For you, I'll do it.
I only get 17 more years. It's not long.
I'm going to be 72. I don't know if I want to be working when I'm 72.
You say that, and then you get like me. You're addicted to it. I'm addicted to this. This is the best medicine I can get sitting at courtside.
Beekman off to Vander Plas, who got fouled at the rim. It'll be DeMarco Dunn called for the foul.
Nice little two-man play. Oh, right here. Take a look at my calendar again right there. Look at that Porsche. Look at that Porsche, man. Are you kidding me? Right now, people want to get a chance. We ought to, hey, that's my wife on the right. We should get publicity. Come on, Lorraine. There's only one star in the family.
Wait a minute. You're arguing over not getting enough publicity? Is that what you're saying?
No, she's my right. Without her, she's a Hall of Famer more than I am. But the car, it's a Porsche. It's available. All you got to do if you want a chance, $100, is go to v.org/Vital Raffle. v.org/Vital Raffle, and we will sell it out tonight. There's only 2,000 chances, and only 310 remain available. I know the Virginia and Carolina fans are going to get a chance on that car.
McCoy off the side of the backboard and brought down by Franklin.
And as you said earlier, McCoy played at Virginia and transferred to Carolina.
2 years here, and actually generally played more here than he has as a Tar Heel the last couple of years. Turnaround Franklin, his first field goal of the night, and the Hoos are back within 2.
You know, they're within 2. Franklin, Shedrick, and also Gardner have not been productive offensively, and they're right there knocking on the door.
So a little spark here for Virginia. 6 minutes into the second half. Davis, big time shot for R.J. Davis.
They needed that. They needed his drive a little bit earlier, and they need the 3 ball. He and Love got to make some threes if they're leaving with a W.
Clark, followed by Franklin.
Franklin said, I like the deuce I made earlier. Why not try and get another one? Franklin transferred him out of Indiana. He's in a real struggle right now, the Hoosiers.
And now a tie-up on the drive by Caleb Love, and the arrow will give it to Virginia. I think Uncle Mo's in the house, Dick.
Yeah, Uncle Mo's arrived. You can quiet Uncle Mo down a little bit if Love and Davis start knocking out a few threes.
Uncle Mo's going to get louder if Virginia scores on this trip. McNeely back into the game. Remember, he took that shot to the face earlier. Beekman, and it's a one-point game.
Tell you one thing, I like Beekman. I like the way he plays. He moves without the ball. He's aggressive. He defends. That's why he led the school record in steals last year, 73. He really loves playing defense, man.
Love, a good look. Misses the three. Vander Plas the rebound, and Virginia can take the lead. And they will.
And the crowd loves it, baby. They're jumping with joy. Cav fans jumping with joy. They love it. They got the lead, baby. They want to make it 8 in a row trips for the guys from Chapel Hill coming here.
The 6'8" grad student transfer from Ohio gives the Hoos their first lead since the midway point of the first half. They're booing McCoy, the guy who transferred out of here, and McNeely down with a rebound for the Cavs.
Tell you one thing, the pressure's really on now, the veteran guards from North Carolina. They literally have to carry them if they're going to get this win.
Again, no Bacot. Rolled his ankle a minute 19 into the game. Back on the bench, but in sweats.
And what did they miss last year when they
what a pass! And Beekman is heading to the free throw line. What a nifty feed from Armaan Franklin.
Hey, when they routed them last year, Bacot had 29 points, 21 rebounds.
We'll come back. Andrea will have more for us. A 2-point lead for the Hoos over the Heels.
We got to go on, buddy. We got to go on. Oh-ho.
Welcome back to Charlottesville. We have seen this Virginia team fight back. They were down 7 with 16 minutes left in the second half, now have the lead. And everyone on the bench for this Virginia team, they're wearing shirts that say UVA Strong on the front, and they have the last names of 3 football players that tragically lost their lives in November. Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry, and Devin Chandler. This team representing the fight that this university has had to show to pull together after that tragic incident, guys.
A horrible tragedy. We were talking about it before the game, and it is still on the minds of everybody on this campus.
Absolutely. It was senseless murders. Just drives you nuts why that happens. And just our heart goes out certainly to Devin's family, Lavelle's, and Deshaun's. Just was so great to see a lot of love here on the campus when it happened, obviously, but also in the case of, we look at the Damar Hamlin situation, the love among people, black, white, rich, poor, any religion, didn't matter. And we need more of that in our nation. We need more of that. Love for one another, caring about one another. And Damar, I tell you, so happy. I was so wrapped up in that. So happy to see where he has progressed.
Yeah, back in Buffalo now. Beekman, no. And Vander Plas giving Tony Bennett some great minutes off the bench here in the second half.
Hey, what a plus Vander Plas has been. It's incredible. Shooting the 3. There is the offensive rebound. Lucky that.
Transfer from Ohio, played with Mark Sears, the outstanding guard for Alabama with the Bobcats last year, as the Heels get a much-needed basket.
That was a nice drive to the basket. Heels are so talented. They really are. And they're well coached. Hubert's done a great job with them.
Clark for 3. And Puff Johnson down with a rebound for Carolina.
You know, Puff Johnson's got to step up. He's got to give him some positive minutes. He's talented. He can shoot the ball. Brother is Cameron, who plays now Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, out with a knee injury, unfortunately, recuperating from surgery. Turnaround Washington rolls off the rim, and Franklin gobbles it up for the Hoos.
Terrific move right there by Washington. Really a good move. It just didn't fall down for the kid.
Carolina began the season as the #1 team in the nation, had a 4-game losing streak late November, early December. Fell out of the rankings, 11-5 right now, 3-2 with the ACC, as Virginia forces another turnover.
Virginia's got some good wins. Beat Illinois, beat Baylor.
Boy, can this kid shoot it? Isaac McNeely. Know the name because he's going to knock down a lot of shots for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, learn that name, people. He's going to be a special player here. He does more than shoot just the three, but he can shoot that three. Vander Plas and McNeely have been so big off the bench.
First thing he said was three-point shooting. And in 2019, when Virginia won the national championship, they shot 39.5% from three. This season has been their closest since then, coming into tonight at 38%. You see that three from McNeely. First half, Dan, 2 for 11. Here in the second half, they're already 2 of 4. This is a team that could get hot.
Dre, thank you. The 4 threes they've got tonight are all from the 2 newcomers. 2 for Vander Plas and 2 for McNeely. 1 a transfer and 1 a freshman.
He made a big deal about that, too. Saying about we're deeper. Our bench has really been very successful.
Washington short on the 3. Franklin the rebound. The rebounding advantage that Carolina had through the first half has kind of disappeared as well. Rebounds are dead even right now, 26 apiece. Vander Plas, quick release, got it!
Well, he's got a nice touch. He really does. He's got the great rotation. What a big plus this kid is. Nobody had a chance to get him because Tony played with his father in college, and God knew him well. His dad, who's a great coach, Dick Bennett, he coached his father.
R.J. Davis with a 3. Davis became the 81st Tar Heel to surpass the 1,000-point mark. Did that a couple of games ago.
He needs a little help right now from Killer. Love's got to put some points on the board.
Franklin thinking about it. Couldn't get the shot off over Leaky Black, so he'll drive him. Shoot over him and get it to go. And after Franklin started the game 0 for 7, he's now converted on his last 3.
Well, let me say this. One of the reasons they're getting that there, no Bacot. Bacot would shut that laying up. But right now they're getting a lot of baskets around that 3-second area.
Washington lost it. Dunn saves it. And then it's knocked out of bounds. Tomorrow night, we've got some ranked teams, 4 of them, in fact, in an ESPN2 college basketball doubleheader. Alabama and Arkansas out of the SEC, and then into the Big 12 for the late game between TCU and Texas. Great doubleheader tomorrow night on ESPN2.
Yeah, terrific right there by Alabama. It looks so impressive. Arkansas got a tough break. They got a great freshman, Nick Smith. He's out with an injury. They hope to get him back sometime during the year.
And Trevin Brazil out for the season after getting off to a great start this year. And a shot clock violation on the heels.
Tell you what, that defense stepping up. Caleb Love has not been Caleb Love here today.
He is 1 for 8 from the field in this game. He does have 5 assists, but he's only scored 2 points in the game.
Yeah, he really got to count on him, especially without Bacon on the floor. You got to get at least 15 out of him.
Clark driving Davis, got by him, and somehow that didn't go down.
That was the easiest layup he had. T.A. would like to have that baby back.
You know, one of the reasons why Love may not be having much of an offensive night, as he will go to the line here, he's had Reece Beekman on him a lot of the night.
Well, Beekman's such a terrific defensive player. There's no doubt about it. Takes the challenge of wanting to play somebody that can play offense, but getting him out of free throw line is big. He's
trying to get back in the groove, but Reece Beekman and the Hoos can get you out of your groove pretty easily. Virginia leading Carolina by 9. Basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. It's easy to bundle your home and car insurance at progressive.com. A spot here in Charlottesville known as the Corner. Virginia welcoming in North Carolina today and leading by 9 in a game that Carolina has led for a greater period of time than the Hoos have. But whether it's all finally catching up to Carolina without Armando Bacot, Virginia leading points in the paint 26-18, leading points off turnovers 15-7, leading in blocks 6-1. And they have heated up in the second half. Virginia shooting 59% from the field in the second half.
And also the value of Beekman on defense really has contained Love. Because Love is such an explosive scorer with great talent. His point guard skills as well. He can handle the ball exceptionally well.
A little pressure here.
Full good trap. McNeely gets right through it. He's an outstanding high school player in West Virginia.
Clark to the elbow. Vander Plas has been hot here in the second half. Beekman inside. And Leaky Black down with a rebound for Carolina. into the paint. Pivots, turnaround, good.
Nice play by Black. So they got a lot of experience. You talk about Black, Love, and Davis. And I mean big-time winning experience. And what they did last year was unbelievable.
Yeah. One a fifth-year senior, the other two juniors, and they were obviously huge parts in that run to the national championship game.
Looked
like they had that national championship at halftime.
What were they at, 16, I think, at one point? A miss for Vander Plas. Love the rebound, and here he comes.
He's very strong, very strong physically.
And away from the ball, we got a call going against Jalen Washington of Carolina.
So Leaky Black right now, showing his little versatility. Nice move in the lane, good turnaround, little jumper. 12-footer goes down, and his teammates love it. They love it. Said Leaky, come on, man, let's go. Let's get out of Charlottesville with a W.
Popular guy, Hubert Davis, was asked yesterday about him. He said, I love him on the court. I love him in the locker room. Great guy to have in the program. How about McNeely showing he's not just a three-point shooter?
And Mr. Bennett just said, hey, Dan, I love him, too. I got him for like another 3 more years. I love him.
8 points for McNeely off the bench. He and Vander Plas have combined for 23 off the bench for the Cavs tonight. $17 on the shot clock. Seth Trimble returns now for the Tar Heels. Well, he was really good the last couple of games. Wins over Wake and Notre Dame.
Especially defensively, made some great defensive plays that were needed big time.
He can really guard. Love swings it to Trimble. Looking to kick it, finds Black for 3. And out of bounds to Virginia. Again, the big story, Armando Bacot, 1 minute and 19 seconds into the game. Rolled his ankle, has not returned, wearing sweats on the bench right now. Jalen Washington was a monster in the first half, much quieter in the second. In Virginia, led by, in some ways, Vander Plas and McNeely. They've really turned it up a notch in the second half.
Yeah, because they haven't got scored really out of Gardner or out of Shedrick.
Yeah, who are not in the game right now. Those are the guys on the bench because Vander Plas and McNeely are playing so well.
Can't give him any space to shoot the ball.
Franklin. Vander Plas soaring in, couldn't finish it, and it's 5-on-4 right now for the Heels. Vander Plas back into the play, but not before Love gets the 3 off and hits it to make it a 4-point game.
You talk about a big-time clutch shot. That's why he's been a special player in that Carolina uniform. And I'm just reflecting mentally of what Roy Williams did as a coach there. I mean, it's just amazing. The 3 national championships. Look on the bench and see Sean May. Just incredible.
5:10 to go here in Charlottesville. Virginia by 4 over Caleb Love and the Heels here in this ACC. Caleb Love, that 3 with 5:10 to go. But you can see there's relief on his face. He's 2 for 9 tonight now. They haven't been going down for him. And he was relieved, as was Hubert Davis. That one went in. They're only down by 4, and there's a lot of time left in this game.
Absolutely. Hubert has such a passion and love for North Carolina. That's special. It becomes contagious with your players.
Virginia gets it over. They have withstood this pressure from Carolina relatively easily so far the last couple of minutes. And Carolina under man, no Bacot and no Nance, as Franklin is going to the line now for the Cavs.
Franklin does a great job of ducking in, getting the ball in that 3-second area. As I said earlier, you look at Bacot, we know about his presence of score inside, rebound, but it's also his presence in that 3-second area defensively is such a big plus. He's the best big man in the conference.
Franklin had a nice game Saturday against Syracuse, knocked down 4 threes, scored 16 points, had 26 against Baylor earlier this year. Didn't look like himself offensively last year, his first year with Virginia, but his numbers have gone back just about to where they were 2 years ago when he was still a Hoosier.
He's a good player with the Hoosiers as well. Missed free throws.
Yeah, good free throw shooter, missed them both.
See, Washington was back on the floor. You know, playing as many minutes, he hasn't played this kind of minutes. So stamina, the physical side of it's going to really be something that he has to develop.
He's played more minutes tonight that he has played all season. 21 minutes in 6 games coming into tonight, 22 minutes tonight.
That's a big adjustment for a young guy. Tell you one thing, they found gold there in that young guy.
Into Davis. Davis guarded by Beekman. Kihei Clark's on Caleb Love right now.
I love the spirit on the sideline out of Hubert.
Love no, and Franklin the rebound.
He made a great drive, just didn't finish the play. Didn't finish the play. Getting down to winning time right now, Dan. 4 minutes to go.
Boy, Armaan Franklin got 9 rebounds tonight, Dan. And into double figures in points now with 10 after being so cold early. Virginia by 4 with just over 4 minutes to go. Vander Plas, Beekman, Franklin off balance, too strong. And he's down behind the play. Again, 5-on-4 for the Heels. Franklin gets back. Hubert Davis calling out a play from the bench.
I think he works harder than the players, man. He is unbelievable, his enthusiasm.
Good look, Leaky Black. And saved by Kihei Clark.
Black had a real good look there.
And you know Virginia's not going to be in a rush at this end of the floor.
Patience, spacing. 15, 17 feet apart to eliminate help.
And the mental discipline required by the opponent to play 30 seconds of defense all the time.
Oh.
Great look. Counted and one for Franklin.
Tremendous look. Great vision. Great call, Mr. Schulman. You got a chance in this business. You got a chance.
Franklin will be at the line when we come back.
He's got a double-double tonight.
Yep.
Got a double-double.
Beekman finds Franklin, who's by 6. And yours, that shocking result in Lexington that SVP was talking about is Kentucky loses again. They lose on their home court to South Carolina, a team that was beaten by over 40 by Tennessee on the weekend. And next game for Kentucky, Tennessee on the weekend.
Ouch.
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 Top 10 team Tennessee, right? Rick Barnes has a heck of a squad. They are deep, they are experienced, and they are as good defensively as any team in America.
They had that one slip-up, got beat by Colorado, but they've been brilliant. I love Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes has been such a great help to me in my battle with cancer. That's all I can simply say.
He'll be at the gala, right?
We're honoring him. Yeah. Special award.
Inside 3 minutes to go. Love for 3. Got it! Wow. His second 3 in the last couple of minutes, and it's a 1-possession game.
Tell you one thing, Love has come up big late in the game. You expect that from a veteran, a clutch player, talented. He's multi-talented.
And a timeout called after the shot. Boy, 2 big threes recently for Caleb Love.
Tell you what, you're right in his face, too. He's not really wide open. He's come up big, shooting like his boss.
And that was Hubert Davis who called the timeout. He's still got 1 left. Virginia's got 2 left. And we still got a lot of time here. 2:46 to go.
Plenty of time. 3-point game, plenty of time. Think about this now. We've made it, and we've documented it. Some people have joined us late. Should have been with us earlier, but they've joined us late. Tell you this, 7 times in a row they've been here and left with an L.
Right.
You and I have been here a number of times. We never leave with an L. We live with get a check, work, steal money. It's unbelievable.
That's a W.
Come on, man.
That's a W.
It's a W.
Look at the ACC standings. How about the Clemson Tigers? Brad Brownell's team is 5-0. They beat Pitt on the weekend. That was a battle between the last 2 undefeated teams. Miami at 4-1, and then look at a whole bunch of teams, 6 of them to be exact, at 3-2, including the 2 that we are watching here tonight.
Tell you one thing, I can't wait. I'm going to do the Miami Duke game down there in Durham, and that's going to be a big game. Jimmy Larinaga nominated for the Hall of Fame. What about giving him a little salute, tip of the hat? He's done a great job with the Canes.
Yeah. Isaiah Wong and company, they're a good team. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this league.
I want to say congratulations also. Leonard Hamilton won his 600th game. As we know, Tony won his 327th, which broke the record here at Virginia. Terry Holland had the record of 326.
Yeah, Terry Holland coached Virginia to a couple of Final Fours back in the early 1980s.
Coached one of the greatest players of all time, Mr. Sampson.
Yep. McNeely and Vander Plas both still in the game, as they have been for a long time for Virginia. They've both been exceptional here in the second half.
Look at the great spacing they get. You can't give help. That's a well-coached team. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
How about the freshman looking around, nobody to pass to, shot clock running down. Let me bury a three.
He made 4 big ones against Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. What a momentum builder that is when you got a guy that can stroke the three.
Washington over Vander Plas, left it short. At one point, if I'm not mistaken, Virginia was 1 for 11 from three-point range. They're now 6 for 19, so they've made 5 of their last 8 threes.
How big is that? The three-point shot changes the game.
Beekman, and blocked from behind by Leaky Black.
It's a big three. Look at this kid. He's so confident shooting it, and so is his coach. As Dan told you earlier, a little story about Mr. Guard. Tell him that story again, Mr. Bennett, what he said.
About McNeely?
Yeah, shooting.
He said, take the parking brake off.
Yeah.
He goes, you're good. You want to shoot it? Go shoot it. He has earned the right.
One of the best ever shooting the three in college, sitting on the bench over there. Mr. Bennett. You didn't see a little shootout. Bennett and Hubert.
We'd be here a while. They could both make some shots.
They could stroke it.
Yep. One of the officials, Ron Groover, is over at the monitor, maybe a clock issue. Putting 1 second back on the clock, so 1:24. And it is Carolina ball, down by 6.
You mentioned the officials. They've done one hell of a job in this game.
Well, these are
they really
great officials. Yeah.
They really done a terrific job.
Again, Carolina under man. No Pete Nance. And a minute and 19 in, no Armando Bacot.
Bacot, a big miss.
Love.
Oh,
again!
Wow, you kidding me? Has he come up big here late in the game? He has shown why he's so talented. Caleb Love, 3 big trifectas he's made.
Well, he can do this. Ask UCLA, ask Duke, teams that he was so terrific against in the NCAA tournament. And again, he's got Carolina back within 3.
He's very streaky shooting the ball. Very streaky. When he gets on. Oh, no.
Beekman to the rim.
Oh, no. Defensively, what a breakdown. Nobody communicated. Hubert wants a timeout. Hubert wants, now he wants motion.
Now he's saying go, go. Down by 5, inside 30 seconds to go, and a held ball. The possession arrow will keep it with the heels.
First of all, he was trying to get a timeout. Then he started motion. That drive to the goal, the backbreaker. Nobody rotated over. Nobody communicated. You got to talk to one another. You got to help. It's over. It's over.
That would be the dagger, my friend. The dunk
8 in a row
for Vander Plas. And then he's back in time to come down with a loose ball. And Virginia's going to get a victory and beat Carolina for the 8th consecutive time in this building.
Carolina certainly didn't play with their full arsenal. Losing a guy like certainly Bacot, catalyst, the guy that carries his team. But you got to credit also Virginia. They came and made big plays when they had to make the big play.
Last year, Virginia, when they trailed at the half-dick, were 0-17. A win tonight, they are 5-2 in games in which they were trailing at halftime.
What a difference a year makes, my friend.
Caleb Love with 3 late threes, but ultimately you can see from the expression on his face, Carolina's going to come up short. Clark with a steal to finish it off, and Virginia beats the Heels 65-58 here at John Paul Jones Arena.
Terrific effort late in the game, certainly by Virginia. and the bench. The two guys off the bench they took was Vander Plas and McNeely came up really big.